My original plans was to review the Billy and Mandy movie from 2008, Halloween Bash, but after thinking about it, it didn't really got me invested, which is why I decided to scrap that review for this review, which isn't Halloween related in comparison to Summerween that I talked about last year, but at the same time, it involves zombies, so it's accurate. Recently, I've been rewatching Gravity Falls, but at the same time, I still don't consider of doing a marathon involving the episodes, mainly the fact that the top ones as of now is Craig of the Creek and Amphibia, and maybe other shows, but to be real, if I did do a Summerpalooza 6 marathon involving Gravity Falls, there would have been less episodes that can easily be fit into 1 month. By reviewing nearly all the episodes in 1 month, it doesn't feel like Summerpalooza 6 material, not to mention that I don't want to do a month and a Summerpalooza. It's too difficult to do all. No matter if Gravity Falls is taking place in the summer, there are still other options available. The plot of Scary-oke is that Uncle Stan is trying to have the portal function after getting the information that he needs, mainly the 3 books, and also the money to make all this possible. To tell you the truth, learning about Uncle Stan doing this stuff all the while scamming people's money is honestly the only way for him to actually bring back his brother. The point of view of Dippo, Mabel, and mostly the other characters looking at Uncle Stan being greedy 100% isn't really accurate when his motivation is to get the money he needs in order to have the technology underneath the Mystery Shack functional. Otherwise, he won't be able to succeed his goal. But since that he was testing out the invention underneath the Mystery Shack, it got the attention from the government. Government agents investigate the inside of the Mystery Shack, which actually thrilled Dippo so that he can show them the secrets that he witnessed in Gravity Falls. But that didn't last long as Uncle Stan kicked them out as they're prepared to throw a party for the reopening of the Mystery Shack. After calling them by sneaking into the Mystery Shack, Dippo shows them the book, and he wants to prove to them that anything in Gravity Falls is real, but the government agents don't believe him, so he summons the zombies from the grave. Due to the zombie riot, everyone left the party, which leads to Dippo, Mabel, all alone, all the while that Uncle Stan comes to the rescue by beating up the zombies. With this episode kickstarting Season 2, which leads to the biggest mysteries of the entire series, which it's really obvious by now, I really feel like that this entire episode's purpose is to showcase Dippo's interest when it comes to mysteries, all the while that he caused the zombies to risen from the grave and destroy the party, even though that he managed to convince the government agents that zombies do exist. But since this is one of the episodes where Uncle Stan gets the least funny moments, and I mean least, I mean there's not a lot of funny moments from him, unlike in other episodes, it really does showcase of how he is trying to protect himself all the while doing everything he can in order to get his brother back. And since that the government agents are around, he really wants to make sure that they don't get involved with the work that he's been working on underneath the Mystery Shack. But when it comes to Dippo's perspective and the motivation that he is trying to accomplish, I can't really fault him, knowing full well that his passion when it comes to the mysteries he went through in Gravity Falls, these types of things need to be exposed when it comes to the people like the government to understand that real things do happen, but the government nor the agents believe that. But with Stan wanted to be left alone, it's difficult to go against these characters when the motivations are really understandable. after watching Season 2 of binge watching it, it sums up everything that Stan desperately wants to do his own thing, all the while just trying to make things right for his brother. Like, the whole season from Season 1 showcases that he is greedy, and when it comes to the final minutes, not final minutes, the final episodes of Season 1, we get to see a side of him that really showcases of what he is mostly capable of other than being a greedy person. Dippo's motivation when it comes to figuring out the secrets involving Stan in the finale of Season 1 really makes you to believe that his motivations of doing his own thing is what's also important in order to showcase what Gravity Falls is. With all of this combined, including the Wrath of the Zombies, this is honestly where the biggest highlights come into play, especially with this episode kickstarting Season 2. When Stan realizes that Dippo and Maple are in trouble, he fights the zombies, and the lighting in this episode, especially the climax when it comes to the fight scenes, it's honestly brilliant. With the animation improving from the previous season, with Stan's character improving by protecting Dippo and Maple, it's just amazing that he isn't the person that we remember from the last season, well before the final episodes. We actually get to see a much more serious side of him, even though it was implied that he has something hidden underneath the shack in the first season from the very first episode. And with them figuring out the solution to stop the zombies, thanks to the type of lighting that Wendy set up, they decided to sane, which is mainly what Maple was looking forward to when it comes to the team name that she came up with, which Dippo and Stan didn't agree to that. But at the same time, if they ended up fighting the zombies, it wouldn't make a difference for how handicapped they are, especially since that they turned Seuss into a zombie. So with them singing Scary-oke, with the zombies exploding, it's honestly satisfying, but also a heartwarming moment between the three characters singing. It's almost like that every time I see zombies being put into an episode that isn't really Halloween related, but it somehow manages to have more of a purpose than just being horror related and whatnot. Gravity Falls literally know how to introduce these types of enemies, all the while making sure that it's mostly intact when it comes to the characters' interactions and goals that they want to accomplish or need to accomplish. But to be perfectly honest, with the amount of months that I've went through without uploading a review that felt meaningful, this is the only way I can able to make it up for it, and scrapping my Halloween Bash review is honestly for the best, especially since that is a film and I don't think I'm gonna be able to take films as much as I used to, even though that this month has one movie that I'm gonna be reviewing, which is gonna happen later, but that's besides the point. Even though it's gonna take a while for me to rank these episodes from best to worst, I have to admit that this episode is high on my list when it comes to the creativity, the zombies, and of course, the characters' motivations, mainly from Dippo and Stan. Even though my choices as of now when it comes to future schedules is gonna be up to how I feel, but at the same time, it sums up a lot that Gravity Falls is, like Steven Universe, a difficult show to process, even though it's a shorter show in comparison to Steven Universe. But if there's one positive I can give before I close out this review, is that next month, towards the end of November, I'm planning to do another Gravity Falls video, except it's not going to be another review, and it's not gonna be mostly on one episode. Though you're probably not going to like the result of it once it's uploaded, if I'm gonna be making the video, that is. The only hints I can give you is that these characters are gonna be part of the episode, the episode itself is gonna be 10 years old, and it's gonna be a same style as my broken character development of Lincoln Loud that I made 2 years ago, except much shorter and only focusing on one episode. And it's gonna be Cartoon Crisis 3 material, since that's been on hold also since before summer. With that being said, you may look forward to it, you may not, but at the same time, this is also a brainstorm that was meant to come into full view of many people, since it's obvious I'm the odd one when it comes to getting into these shows. And even if you may like it or not, that's just basically my perspective. I'm giving Scary-oke an 8.75 out of 10.